So you guys remember my neighbor? I told you that he fell and I rescued him, you know? If you guys missed that video, you go back a couple and I say I rescued him, but basically he was in hospice, which means he was transitioning to death. He has cancer and he was at the house. He went outside, he slipped, he fell, and I was outside by the pool and I heard him yelling, "Help, help, help." And so I jumped the fence and I got there and he was laying on his, he was laying on his side, just in extreme pain. So that was a few days ago. I did a video on it. You guys can go back and watch it. But moral of the story, or the short of it, is that he passed this morning. In the same month, this last month, guys, I have had to make a very, very difficult decision and take back this car, relocate it back here to Florida, take it out of California, relocate it here, which was a very, very difficult decision because it impacted a relationship that I had with somebody that was very close to me. On top of that, my wife, the other day, I walked out to the living room. She was face down in a pile of blood, unconscious. I did a video on that as well. And, you know, I caught myself asking, what's the meaning behind all this? What is going on in my life, in my consciousness, in my awareness? What is going on with me? What is going on with all of us right now that's causing these difficulties? So in your life right now, this video is for you. I wanted to come in and do this video today to help you guys share some life wisdom with you about the meaning of life. Okay, so I'm Jeremiah Sullivan, former Army Ranger. I was a small town kid. I was a quitter in life, and once I failed at my first dream, I became a quitter. And then I went to a community college. I dropped out of community college. So not only was I a quitter, but I was a college dropout. Changed my life, joined the military, was an enlisted soldier, switched over, became an infantry officer, then an Army Ranger, then a commander. Then I ran 100 miles in the Colorado Rockies without training up, and I realized it was time for me to get out of the military and pursue my purpose of helping others achieve their goals and building leaders. So I do these YouTube videos to help bring you guys up, all right? Well, my wisdom for you is this, okay? A lot of shit is going on right now. Maybe it's going on in your life. You know, maybe you're having a hard time. Maybe you're having a season like this as well, where it's like a death and rebirth season. Like, are you going through something like that? Like, really ask yourself, guys, and tell me in the comments down below. Do you feel like you're going through a death and rebirth season in your life? Because the collective consciousness, if one of us is going through something, it means all of us are. Now, how we handle it is different. But I'll tell you, I think that there's a death and rebirth going on with all of us. And I think that my neighbor passing this morning is symbolic of that death and rebirth. I think that the phoenix is rising, so to speak, in many of us. And I've been thinking about his death a lot, like the last couple hours, because his wife texted me about it, and she said that he passed away. And I said, I feel so blessed because I was there that day, and he gave me a piece of wisdom that will change my entire life, which was about relationships. And so point is I was kind of thinking through this whole thing. I'm thinking through all the challenges I've been through. I've been thinking through my business. I've been thinking through life. I've been thinking through myself. I've been thinking about, man, what is the fucking meaning of all this shit that I'm going through, you know? And I realized that I am searching for meaning. I am searching for more purpose. I am searching for direction in my own life. And I wanted to do this video because, you know, what you're looking for, you find. So if you look for problems, if you look for solutions, you're going to find those things. And for me, Jeremiah, I'm looking for meaning. And I've had this part of my mindset for a long time. When I was in Iraq at 20 years old, a young officer in our unit was killed by a roadside bomb. And I was in Iraq for 15 months asking myself, what is the meaning of life? I had an existential crisis at 20 years old. What is the meaning of this? And I realized in Iraq, I made a decision that life was going to be about providing service and helping others. And I was going to strive to leave an impact on the planet. You know, every one of us has a choice on what we believe the meaning of life is. And this is what me and my brother were talking about. This is the piece of wisdom that I want to give you guys today, is that the meaning of life is whatever you assign to it. The meaning of life is whatever you decide it is. If you're one of those people that you say, hey man, what's the point of life? What's the point of this? What's the point of this? You're going to find what you're looking for. You're going to find no point, because you're asking yourself, what the fuck is the point? There is no point. For Jeremiah, I decided at 20 years old that life was not meant to be lived. It was meant to be conquered. I decided that I felt like horrible because I had quit on myself right after high school, in college. And I felt so bad when I was overseas. I realized that I wasn't going to choose to live like that the rest of my life. I was going to choose to live life on the offense, not the defense. I was going to choose to make a difference. I was going to choose to live because and do my best every single day, because I don't know when my time is going to come. So as my neighbor passed away this morning, I caught myself going through that loop again. What's the meaning? What's the purpose? What's my purpose? What am I here to do? And I truly believe that what's happening in my life right now is a death and rebirth. And I believe that I'm being brought up to align myself with my purpose more clearly. You know, when I came out here to Florida, I dove deep into business, and I tried to figure out marketing, social media, and, you know, my eye got taken off of my purpose. I stopped looking for my purpose as much as I was looking for results. So I've gotten cars, I've gotten the house, I've gotten the pool, I've gotten the location, but I honestly with you guys, I lost a little bit of sight on what got me to this spot, which was chasing my purpose. And so the meaning that all of this has had around me, this between the car situation, my wife, the neighbor next door passing, is that materialism and things do not matter and the things that do matter are the people that you're close to and God. Okay, my brother's living in Guam right now. He said that the people in Guam are basically riding around on beaters, just loving life, just pieces of shit cars, just loving life. And I think that every single one of you needs to chase whatever it is that you want. So if you want cars, go after it. If you want the big life, go after it, because it's only by going after those things that you discover your purpose. Along my way, I had to go after the cars. I had to go after figuring out a way to not be financially held back in life. Only by doing that did I discover my purpose. But along the way, when you guys start moving through life, you start chasing your goals, do not lose sight of your purpose. Do not lose sight of why you began on the journey to begin with and what you're trying to accomplish. For Jeremiah Sullivan, I'm building a freaking company that's going to change the world. That's my goal if I don't die before I get to the end result. My goal is to take coaching, put it into companies. I start with people, I put it into companies, and then as it grows, my goal is to get it into the education system, because we all know the education system needs a revamping. But the whole thing is that humanity needs to be brought up, because this rat race that everybody lives in is just so meaningless. You're not supposed to wake up, go to work, come home, drink a beer, go to sleep. That's not supposed to be the extent of your fucking life. Life is meant to be lived. Life is not meant to be lived. Life is meant to be conquered, and conquered underneath your definition, under the game you want to play in life. Life is short, guys. That's it for today's video. This is my awareness. This is my lesson. This is my wisdom I'm passing along from my neighbor passing away. And what it's done for me is made me realize that regardless of when the adversity goes on in your life, you're really going to connect to a couple of things. You're going to connect to your purpose, you're going to connect to God, and you're going to connect to your fucking people, man. You're going to ask yourself, what's the purpose of all this? You're going to connect to that. This is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm going this path. You're going to connect to your people. When my wife was unconscious and she came back up, I just wanted to connect with her at a deeper level. And you're going to connect with God. Along the way, when all this adversity strikes, you're going to constantly lean to somebody to get help. And when there's no people around you, you can only lean on your faith. So the whole purpose of life, right, is to go after that thing that's inside of your heart. And don't forget that materialism And the things are not what's going to make you feel whole and complete and build the life that you want. It's going to be the way to get the life that you want is by going after the purpose that's inside of you. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Conquer all.